Solstice 2023 is here. Crazy to think it's already back again. Seems like it just happened. This year is almost identical to last year. Really the only difference is the armor and the fact that we have a new weapon to chase, which is actually the first strand rocket launcher ever, called the Crowning Duologue. There's lots of Eververse stuff, of course. You can't have a new event without tons of new available stuff for purchase, I guess. But in all seriousness, this event can be good if you are looking for some new and better armor to fit your builds. Armor is going to be the main focus of the event. It does come around only once a year, and it's always good for that at least. So let's jump in and cover it. First, you'll want to head to the tower to see Eva. She'll give you a quest to do the bonfire activity in the EAZ, which is the European Aerial Zone. Again, the same exact event as last year and mostly the year before. I think this is actually a copy paste. At least I can't tell any differences whatsoever from last year other than maybe some new enemy spawns. In case you weren't playing last year and just want a quick explanation of the activity, Bonfire is a 3-player match-made activity that takes around 10 minutes to complete. Long story short, just go to the marker on your map, kill that enemy, and throw the orbs at the bonfire. You'll periodically get interrupted by some taken enemies, usually after you've thrown around 10 orbs. When this happens, just go find the taken and rinse and repeat the first steps. You will want to throw as many orbs as possible at the bonfire if you can, since each orb will essentially convert 1 silver leaf into 5 silver ashes, so it is worth it to speedrun this as much as you can. And just a quick pro tip on this, you typically don't want to go into the bonfire if you only have like 1 or 2 silver leaves. It's not going to do you any good. You want to go in when you have about 20 or 25 so you can take full advantage of throwing all those orbs at the bonfire. Hope that makes sense. And don't worry, I will get to silver leaves and silver ashes just 1 second. But once the timer reaches 0, you'll have a boss that will spawn in. Don't worry, you can burn it quickly. This is not difficult at all. And once you finish the boss off, just head to the bonfire, grab your loot. Usually it's going to be 1 or 2 Solstice items, be that armor or weapons. Okay, so there are 3 currencies that you'll need in order to engage with this event. We already mentioned silver leaves and silver ashes, so we'll just cover those first. To make it simple, you get silver leaves from any activity completions when wearing Solstice armor, and silver ashes are what silver leaves are converted to when you're running bonfires. I know it's weird, that's just how it works. So there is absolutely nothing that you have to buy directly with silver leaves. You will want to convert all of your silver leaves to silver ashes. Just want to get that out of the way. And you'll also want to wear a full set of Solstice armor to get the most silver leaves when completing these activities. And don't worry, as long as you're in an activity that allows you to change your loadout, just save a Solstice loadout that you can quickly swap to as the activity that you're running is about to complete. That way, you're just free to run any activity with the actual build that you want to have equipped. Or if you're lazy like me and probably won't remember to swap out your loadout, just have a full set of Solstice gear equipped for the whole event. I ran a couple activities just to see what I would get. I ran a Vanguard Strike and a Salvage, and they both gave me 7 silver leaves with a full Solstice set equipped. I'd expect every other activity to be about the same as well. And I also did try an activity with 1 exotic armor piece equipped, and it gave me 6 instead of 7. So if you're willing to lose 1 silver leaf to just run your exotic that you want, go for it. So yeah, once you get a stash of silver leaves, again, make sure it's 20 or more just so you're not wasting your time. You'll want to head over to the bonfire to convert them to silver ashes. And as mentioned, the conversion ratio is 1 silver leaf will equal 5 silver ashes at the end of that bonfire. So I'm not sure if there's a cap this year, but I know last year's silver leaf cap was 100. So if you ever notice that you're not getting silver leaves anymore, just make sure that A, you have Solstice armor on, and B, make sure you are not at the cap. So I said there was 3 currencies. The third currency is called Kindling. Kindling is acquired exclusively by completing the event challenges. Most of these challenges are pretty straightforward and just require a bit of time to complete. Completing every challenge of the event is going to give you the exact amount of Kindling you'll need to completely max out your armor, and I'll go over that in a second. All right, so now you've got tons of silver ashes, you've got your Kindling going. What do you do with this stuff? Let's start with the Kindling, since you'll have to use that before you can use your silver ashes. So each piece of Solstice gear, aside from the class item, has 3 tiers of Kindling: small, large, and fully rekindled. To upgrade the Kindling tier on your armor, you'll have to obviously use Kindling. 1 for small Kindling, 2 for large kindling, and 3 for fully rekindled. So 6 kindlings per armor piece for a total of 24 to complete all 4 armor pieces. How many times did I say kindling there? Just curious. The good news is that you only have to do the kindling once, so any new pieces of armor that you find will always drop with whatever kindling stage that you're at currently. So for example, my helmet slot is fully rekindled, so now every Solstice helmet I get from now on will automatically be fully rekindled. I hope that makes sense. So what does this even do? Well, upgrading the kindling will allow us to use silver ashes to imbue or upgrade and re-roll the stats on the Solstice armor that we get. There's like 1,000 steps to upgrading this armor. I know, I'm trying to make it simple. So like kindling, there are 3 tiers of imbuing, and each tier is locked behind whatever kindling tier your armor is at. So armor that is only at the small kindling tier will only be able to be upgraded to the first imbuing tier. Once you get an armor slot fully rekindled, you can now get any Solstice armor in that slot to the highest imbuing tier. Getting an armor piece to the highest imbuing tier will allow you to re-roll the stats on the armor while also guaranteeing a minimum of 20 in any single stat that you prefer. Just keep in mind that you can only imbue a specific armor piece to max one time. If you don't like how the stats turned out, you'll have to grab a new armor piece and start imbuing again by using those silver ashes. I know, this sounds like a very confusing system, because it is, but it's not quite as bad once you start upgrading and trying out for yourself. You kind of get in the flow of it, it just starts making sense. As you can see, the initial grind is just getting your kindling done on all of your armor pieces so you can start using your silver ashes to freely re-roll each Solstice armor piece that you get. Getting an armor piece to the maximum imbuing level will cost you 120 silver ashes, by the way, so you can get this armor either by running the bonfire activity or by purchasing it from Eva. That option's a little bit easier in my opinion since it's so cheap. You can grind this event as much as you want while it's active, so hopefully you're able to get some solid armor sets going. So with these events, there are always just crazy farms that completely break the game. It makes the event go by really quickly, so do those if you want. I usually don't do those because I just get burned out even quicker than I already do, and I'm only on the first day. With these events, I'd recommend just playing the game normally, have your Solstice gear equipped, and you'll naturally get tons of silver leaves just as you play. And once you hit that silver leaf cap, if there is one, just head to the bonfire, get a few runs in, and convert those to silver ash. Nice and easy. Okay, let's talk weapons now. We've got 3 new weapons that can drop, with the crowning dual log being the new one and the one that I'm most excited about. But both previous weapons have had their perk pools refreshed, so it might be worth grinding for the new versions of these weapons if you like the rolls better. I'm gonna go ahead and put all of their rolls on screen just so you know what they roll with. So as I mentioned, crowning dual log, that's the one I want just because it's the only strand rocket launcher in the game. It has some interesting perk options too, with demolitionist and adrenaline junkie being what I kind of want to get. I'm curious to see what the community comes up with as the main god roll though. I know something's going to come out. The something new hand cannon could be interesting for PvP players, I guess, as it gets feeding frenzy and multi-kill clip. I'm just not a PvP main. I say this like in every video, so I'm not going to be going out of my way to get this one. If I do get a nice one, great, but I don't really care. And finally, we've got the Compass Rose Precision Frame Shotgun. Not too excited about this one either. You could go with the boring quick draw snapshot sights PvP roll if you want. There's like 1,000 other shotguns with that roll. It does have the ability to roll with incandescent though, for solar builds if you want a solar shotgun with incandescent, but most of the time you'll be running an SMG or a trace rifle with incandescent with most solar builds, so yeah, shotgun, not too excited. So I'm sure I missed some crazy combo in there. If I did miss something, if you caught something that I missed, just let me know down in the comments. But for now, I'm just going to be going for the Strand rocket launcher. And that's it for the Solstice 2023. Not exciting at all, unfortunately. I'll be getting my armor done on each class. I'll get the title, get a couple good rolls of the Strand launcher, and I'll probably call it a day for the event. I did so much Solstice grinding last year that I really just don't need any more good armor because I already have like 1 million good armor pieces. I will say the armor looks way better than last year. I don't even know what happened last year, like what is this? But for this year, there's just not huge incentive for me to go crazy on it. Solstice is my second least favorite event, with Festival of the Lost being the worst culprit usually. That unfortunately is the next event in the rotation, which comes out in October. Well, let's try to have fun for the Solstice, I guess. Hopefully this helps speed up time for us to get to the next season. I'm very excited for the next season with that cliffhanger ending to this season, but either way, thank you so much for watching everyone, and I will see you all in the Discord or in the next video.